guys, welcome to my video. I'm Catherine, and today I'm going to be getting ready and telling you about my crazy Hot Topic experiences. I worked there for about 2 years. I was quite the emo kid. Insert some pictures here, future Catherine. Basically, I met a lot of weird people, did a lot of weird stuff. So if you're interested in hearing about some of that, then here we go. So to start off, I started working at Hot Topic when I was freshly 16 years old. I remember because I had just started driving and I went in one day. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing a neck-deep black t-shirt and khaki shorts, and then I had a flannel tied around my waist. My hair was dark brown at the time, I think. Yes, my hair was dark brown at the time. I went in and I was just like, hey, are you guys hiring? And I had like my little resume printed out and I was super excited. I talked to them, I went home, blah blah blah. I got a phone call a couple days later. My mom and I decided that we would go together because I was super nervous. This was my second job, but my first like retail and like real job, I guess you would say. I talked to the manager there a little all over the place when I was first getting interviewed. It was kind of just like while she was doing stuff, she like on the side would come up and be like, so blah blah, but she didn't really ask me much. She basically just asked me when I could work. And so I told her, I was like, I can work whenever. This was literally my dream job, working at Hot Topic. I was a strange child, but there's actually a lot of people whose dream job is working at Hot Topic. When you're like 15 years old, that seems like the coolest thing ever. So, don't judge me. I remember she told me, she was like, well, if you can work Black Friday, that's fine. Black Friday was quickly approaching. I was like, yes, of course. But then I remembered I was supposed to get my wisdom teeth out on Thanksgiving break. So that didn't really go well. I literally cried and begged my mom to let me reschedule so that I could work at Hot Topic. It ended up working out. My mom let me do it, and to this day I still have my wisdom teeth. So when I first started working there, the coworkers that I had were like awesome. I still love I don't want to go as far as say everybody. The people at Hot Topic are not all crazy, I promise. But now I think we should go ahead and get into like the actual stories. There would be a lot of odd people working there, and I was the youngest employee there, like by far. Most of the people there were at least a year older than me, so I was definitely the baby of the group, but like I didn't really mind. I still like got along with everybody and I was fitting in just fine. I also would have a kind of alarming amount of people come in and ask me for my number, for my Snapchat, blah 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 blah. And it usually wasn't like a friendly or kind way of asking either. It was more of a like, hey yo, what's your number? And ridiculous stuff like that. Or there were a couple times where people would leave the store and their friends would come back in and be like, oh my god, my friend really wants your number. I would just be like, no dog, sorry. Me and the girl that I worked with that I was definitely the closest with, we were helping somebody with piercing jewelry and stuff, and you have to have a key to unlock those things. And so our manager said, well, which one of these ladies would you like to help you? And they said, either one is fine. And the other girl that I was working with walked over to them and they said, oh yes, we got the hot one. And I was like, okay, that's fine, sounds cool, whatever. There was one night where it was just me and I don't remember who I was with, but just one of the managers closing. And a man came into the store, and I try to be polite to everybody, especially because when you're working in retail, you know, it's your job to be nice to everybody. So I came up and I was like, hey, like, how are you doing, sir? Like, is there anything I can help you with today? Let him know like the deals that were going on, you know, basic stuff. And he goes, you know what? I need to tell you something. And so instantly I was like, oh no, it's not gonna go well. The man proceeds to tell me that I have a raspy voice, which first of all, I've never been told I have a raspy voice before, so. And told me that it was because there was a fairy trapped inside of my soul, crawling up and trying to escape my body. So I just went along being like, really? Tell me more. Pretending to just, you know, care at all about what this man was telling me about the fairy in my body. So he didn't stop at being weird there. So I went back to the little cash wrap area and just waited while he continued to look around the store. But every once in a while he would just go and like freak out. And so we were a little concerned because it was really, really weird. Pretty sure he was on drugs. So we ended up calling security and having them just like keep an eye on him to make sure that A, he was okay, and B, we were okay. Another good one is one time just me and my manager were in the store and a woman comes in with like 2 or 3 kids with her. I think she had like 3. She had a stroller and then like an older kid with her. And at the time, Five Nights at Freddy's was poppin'. I mean, maybe it still is, I don't know. But like, everybody loved Five Nights at Freddy's. This lady had bought a clearance Five Nights at Freddy's wallet. You buy a clearance item, you can't return it. It's final sale. And it says so like on the receipt and everything, and we tell you that when you buy the item. She came back and wanted to return it. It had clearly been like used and opened, and it just, even if it wasn't final sale, it was not in condition to be returned. She seemed like she was confused, so I tried to explain it to her as well. I also want to make note that at no point during this interaction were me or my manager being rude to this lady at all. My camera cut out. He also tried to help her by telling her like if she wanted to find something else, we might be able to do an exchange for her. This woman proceeds to lose her mind about this. She is not accepting the fact that she cannot return this item. Proceeds to tell us that we are racist, sexist, homophobic, everything, because we won't let her return this item. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really think that that adds up. It's like the little like... Yeah, I was very confused. This lady was very rude and she stormed out of the store and we were just like... Okay. I'm gonna finish up part of my eyes in like fast motion so then I can tell this last story while I'm doing my face because it's by far the finale. Should I add eyeliner to this? Like a wing? Is that what we're thinking? Or do we like it like this? I kind of want to add eyeliner. We gonna ball out and add some eyeliner. Let's go ahead and do my face while I get into this. Oh my god, my hair behind my ears looks so bad. That is tragic. By far, the best part about working somewhere like Hot Topic is the people you meet. You meet a lot of really great people. You meet a lot of really weird people. One thing in particular. One kid really stands out in my mind when I think about my Hot Topic days. Hot Topic has a clearance like most stores do. And on this clearance rack, there's a lot of like trip clothing. If you don't know what that is, I'll throw up a picture or something. It's pretty stereotypical like goth kid Hot Topic clothing. I don't know why they still carry it, but they're trying to get rid of it obviously because it's in clearance. There is a like trench coat in this clearance section, and one day a family comes in and this boy probably was definitely like, he was like my age at the time, so he's probably 16, 17. And well, I take that back. He might have been like a little bit older. We'll say late teens. This kid was like late teens. Yeah, we'll go with that. He buys this jacket and me and the other girl I was working with kind of observed that, you know, this was a peculiar jacket. And we made a comment, not rude, I just don't remember exactly what we said, about the jacket, but like the fashion sense of it. And he said that he was an industrial goth. So me and the girl didn't really know what that was, so, you know, gave it a quick Google search. I'm gonna flash up like the image that came up when we searched this because we were a little bit confused. So we Google this and find this image. So the kid goes back around the store to continue looking around, and when he comes back up to the counter, we ask him, so what do you like, what kind of music is that? Like, what do you do? Kind of just about himself. And he proceeds to just tell us that he dances and goes to clubs or whatever. We're like, oh, okay, cool. He continues walking around and he comes back up to me and he goes,
you know, I can scream like Austin Carlisle.
And if y'all don't know who that is, he's the vocalist for Of Mice and Men. Great band, by the way. And this kid proceeds to scream in my face, like full on, like growl, like bear-tooth aggressive scream in my face. And let's just say I definitely wasn't expecting that. And so I was trying so hard not to laugh at this poor kid because, you know, how do you just not laugh at a situation like that? But I was like, and so the kid leaves again, comes back up to me, says,
I can scream like Oliver Sykes.
To love of my life, vocalist for Bring Me the Horizon. But so he comes up and screams in my face again, just like that. And at this point I just like retreat to behind the cash wrap just to like hide away and tell my other coworker about how insane this kid is. So finally it comes time for this kid to check out with his trench coat and other I think he grabbed maybe a few t-shirts, and his whole family was with him too. So he comes up to the cash register, we're about to check out, and he says something along the lines of like,
You know how I dance?
and we were like, no. So if you live on Earth, you've probably seen the video of the like goth kids dancing under a bridge. Yeah, this kid proceeds to do that exact dance next to the cash wrap for a good minute, non-stop, like keeps dancing for a good minute. So me and my coworker are both dying laughing at this point. Like, there's no helping how much we're laughing. And the kid, you know, finishes checking out and goes to leave with his family, and I sat behind the counter and just cried laughing, because honestly, to this day, funniest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. Like, hands down, the best. Just who does that and why? What was he thinking? Like, his poor family, like, what were they thinking? It was just, I just don't know what was going on. Like, we never saw that kid again. We never really see any of these people again. Except for, I don't know if this was just at my Hot Topic, but it became quite apparent that a lot of younger girls really looked up to us Hot Topic employees. Like the little young emo girls. Which, you know, is kind of funny. It was more humorous than anything. But like, they would follow me on like Instagram and stuff, which is, you know, normal because I was often on our Hot Topics Instagram page. But they would also follow like my friends. It was just kind of overall really, really weird. So after about my 2-year experience at Hot Topic, there did come a day where I decided that I would be leaving the nest. None of my friends worked there anymore. They had all left. And it was just me, and our manager was actually leaving as well. And you know, I had gotten used to her antics and the way that she managed, so I liked working with her, and I didn't really want to work with anybody else. And this new manager comes, and he is so weird and creepy. Not a fan. He comes to take over my last day of employment at Hot Topic. I was meant to be closing with this new manager, so, you know, I go in for work that day. Everything is fine. I'm kind of just, you know, doing my thing because it's my last day. I'm kind of just chilling. I know that I'm never coming back to work there, so. And he never goes and takes a break or anything, which is, you know, you do you, man. We go to close the store, and as we're closing, he says to me,
Alright, I'm gonna take my break now.
and so I was kind of like,
let's close, let's go home, you know? Like, it's the end of the day, let's just get this over with.
he said,
No, I like taking my breaks at the end of the day so that I can take my smoke break and not have to come into work smelling like smoke.
and I was like, so I asked him, I was like,
So can I stay in the store and like clean up and stuff so that we're ready when you come back?
No, you can sit on the floor outside of the store while I go outside and smoke.
I'm sorry, what? Again, I'm sorry, where am I sitting? Why? Where? Who? When? What? In what world? In what world am I gonna sit on the floor outside of a Hot Topic for 15 minutes while you go smoke a cigarette outside? So basically I was like, screw you, and told him I wasn't gonna do that because it was my last day. And I just want to go ahead, disclaimer here, I'm a great employee. It was great to Hot Topic. You know, I really did my time there. That was just a little ridiculous. I wasn't gonna sit there for 15 minutes. Every once in a while, I will go back in there just to see if they have any like cool shirts or anything, because I do still, you know, enjoy the good Hot Topic band tee every now and then. But this guy, the new manager, he still manages there, I think. Could be wrong, I think. And he doesn't recognize me or anything. He doesn't ever say hello to me. I don't think any of the like associates that were there still work there, which would make sense because it's literally like terrible and I hated working there. I don't blame them for leaving. I'm just gonna finish my mascara and then come right back. So end of the story is Hot Topic is a crazy place to work. It's quite the experience. Wouldn't recommend it, but you know, you do you. Go live your emo fantasies if that's what your heart desires. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video though. If you want me to make more of these, then subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you want me to do. And hopefully I'll do that. Have a good day. Bye.